I can't keep it a secret any longer. I've got magical powers. Watch.
Many teens are intrigued by witchcraft, and Hollywood feeds that appetite with shows about young people involved in the occult. Sarah Sumpolec turned to witchcraft to give her power over her life and the identity she was looking for.
It began that search of something that I had just been interested in, the whole occult thing and, seances and the Ouija board growing up and all those things that I maybe just dabbled with began to turn very serious at a time in my life when I desperately needed more than what I had. I considered myself a witch in high school. Though I was a solitary practitioner, I really felt like that this was really what I was supposed to do. You actually are inviting spirits, inviting those things into your life, and I did that on multiple occasions. And I believed in this idea of a spirit guide.
What were the manifestations?
It was more outward signs, things falling off of a shelf by themselves, or hearing a ball roll across the floor.
As she was drawn deeper into the occult, Sarah says that she was desperate for her life to change. Her spirit guide led her to believe that there was only one way she could really experience change.
I really felt like I was getting signs that really, for my life to change, I had to die. And in a physical sense, that I had to sacrifice my life and give that as a sacrifice. It was that idea that if you let go of this, if you sacrifice this, then you'll get a new start. You'll get a new chance.
So Sarah took her car, which leaked carbon monoxide into the passenger compartment, and drove off with the windows rolled up. Her hope was that she would crash and kill herself, making her suicide look like an accident.
I remember waking up thinking, knowing what I was supposed to do, and I looked over my car door's sitting open, and I'm on the ground, and I just kind of got back in the car, and I felt really like a failure, like I had even failed at killing myself. The only reason I think I didn't try again, I was less than 6 months away from going away to college, and at that point I thought, well, maybe something will change when I go away.
Sarah graduated from high school and went to college. When her dorm roommates showed up, they couldn't have been more different than Sarah. I
met two little Christian girls. They just came in and talked about God in a way that I had really never seen before. They really believed in God, and they really loved Him. And that, I didn't know what to do with that. I mean, I don't remember them ever having a conversation with me saying that, I was wrong, or I needed to do this, or I needed to do that. It was never that. They just lived their life.
The girls started a Bible study in their room. Sarah found herself listening as she pretended to do homework. They invited her to a campus Christian InterVarsity meeting.
I decided to go. I figured, what do I have to lose? And I still remember the sermon, almost word for word. He talked about altars in the Bible. The reason that we had to lay down our lives on those altars for God was because God loved me. And to me, that was completely new.
After the meeting, Sarah found a quiet place on campus to think about what she had heard.
I just laid it out. I said, God, if you're real and you really do want me, then I'll be yours. I'll be yours.
When she went home during Thanksgiving break, Sarah says that although things were still the same at home, she realized that the change she was looking for had begun in her.
And I read the Bible the whole break, and I remember being at peace for the first time in my life.
But Sarah still had some occult paraphernalia. It was stored at her parents' house.
I had a big bonfire and burned everything and that to me was the only thing I knew how to do to demonstrate to God that, I didn't want anything to do with that world, and I was shutting that door for good.
Sarah is now a wife and mother of 3 daughters. She hasn't forgotten her struggle for identity as a young person and is the author of a series of books for teenage girls. She says that she will never forget how God came to her rescue when she was crying out for a new life.
Satan confused me and deceived me into thinking that I actually had to kill myself to receive that new life. And then I learned that the truth is that Christ was asking for my whole life. He was asking me to lay down my life, but not to kill myself, but to lay down the old ways, the old life, that old flesh person, so that he could make me new here.